Sermon 149 of Nahjul Balagah started by seeking protection from the affliction and misguidance of the devil. It affirms the faith in there only being Allah as divinity and Muhammad as the servant, slave, devotee of God, chosen as his messenger. You know, like that thing in the Bible where Jesus says that he didn't speak his own doctrine, but the doctrine of the one that sent him. Such was the case with Muhammad. Places with people where there used to be all sorts of evils had that quelled through him. People learned good manners. They learned what was right and wrong. They learned to develop and preserve their intellect and their honor, but not in a prideful way. He taught them mutual agreement, an aspect of democracy, as you would call it. But a lot of people don't like the term democracy because they think it's just being sociopathic. And if it's unchecked, sure. We need to be careful not to consume the unlawful. We need to be careful about what leads to evil. We need to be careful about the manner in which we address divinity. We should be careful that the new things are according to the terms of the faith. There's going to come a time when people are martyred, and there's not going to be any vengeance. So we at least need to speak out in regards to these things. And we need to be careful about making allegiances. More and more people right now are, because these things can undo, well, the path itself is going to be there, but undo the establishment of the right path in the society. More and more there's, people being martyred for the faith. And not martyred in terms of what they, suicides. There's no such thing as suicide bombing in Islam. Sure, you go to war and you might die, and sometimes it seems like there's no chance, but you don't kill yourself to kill the enemy. That's not something we do. Sometimes people who deliver a bomb are going to die in the bomb because they can't escape, but that's not the same thing as strapping something to your chest. That's absolutely not, to lay clear that sort of martyr is not the thing. Nor like the circumsalians, those early Christians that started fights with people just so they could be killed. It's like, no, we don't do that too. So, and we, of course, preserve our bodily purity in terms of good health practices and chastity and all that. And saying 287 reminds us that destiny is not really an issue to mull over much. Because honestly, you know what, the four things, how good or bad you're going to be, well, that's entirely choice. Where you're going to walk, there's some choices involved, but what your provision is going to be, again, some choices involved, but it's not absolute under your control. How long when you're going to live to, that sort of thing. Again, some choices are involved, but focus on doing the right thing. Because, the people that get into this thing, they're going to be like, well, they make it about their lifespan. And sometimes making the right decision is exactly how you die at a younger age, but you've made the right decision. And honestly, the chances tend to be against making the right decision costing you some length of life. So just don't be troubled about the idea of fate. Just accept fate and live your life. Don't be a fatalist. And don't be the other. Saying 288 reminds us that the removal of knowledge is a way that, God will humiliate the people. And honestly, see, because people focus on other things and they waste their time and do wrong and all sorts of stuff, so their knowledge shifts towards that, or maybe their ability to withhold knowledge, that can kind of go away. But yeah, not knowing can be quite an issue. Saying 289 was Ali speaking well of someone in the past. He was well in regular life. He was well in political life. And he had qualities which people should learn of, that people should enact. But if you cannot acquire the whole of good beliefs and good deeds, any part that you achieve, that's going to be good for you. Now, it's said, some people think this was Abu Zar Ghifari. Some thought Miqdad bin Aswad, some Usman bin Maz'un, but the name being left off could have been for a purpose here, right? One of the qualities that comes forth here is the others go quiet in terms of one saying something. Just like the last saying, if you have the knowledge and you make clear that you have the knowledge, that should quiet the people who are just stating their mere opinion. If you're like a lion and a serpent in politics, well, I mean in battle, then people are going to respond differently, as if you don't have the courage and the craft. If they don't witness you as having that, there's certain vulnerability. Perhaps they'll pick a different target, someone that's easier, or whatever the case is, or they won't fall by your hands as easily. And if you get something, be grateful of getting. So many people, they get some help And then when that help is over with, they are like, complaining that they don't get more help. And usually this is the sort of person that didn't need the help in the first place. And there are other things in here that focuses on humility and self-mastery.